So, Ben, do you know what a small pair of underpants and a small dance floor have in common?
What do they have in common?
No ballroom. I'm rare coin expert Walt Durham.
Industry veteran Ben Parker.
And we are the coin guys from Texas. And today we're going to be, I guess, a little all over the place. Not really. We're going to be answering some questions and
A few points we want to make, some discussion, and there's not a lot happening in the market right now, so we're
summertime.
Yeah, it's summertime.
We missed last week's episode. I was on vacay in Dallas, Texas. I stayed in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And but the U.S. Mint's got some new coins coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about that. But first, gold and silver prices.
Absolutely. So right now, gold is sitting at $2,438. So it's been a little time since our last episode, and we saw, I want to say last episode, we were around the same price. It was a little higher, actually, trending after the attempted assassination.
Right.
Since then, we've seen it go down quite a bit. We saw
Right.
it.
We saw it in the 23s.
Yes, we did. And I could sense that some people were a little nervous about that. You know, how much further down is it going to go? And that's where it gets dangerous to have too much focus on the day-to-day changes. This is a long-term area, if anything. So right now it's at 2,438. So it's popped right back up to the same levels that we've seen for about the past month and a half, I would say. Around those levels, it's about an average. Silver, we saw it comfortably around 30.
Right.
Now, I don't know exactly what it could be, but I would say maybe it's just people taking profits. You know, things aren't as scary as they were in a certain point. Who knows? But right now, silver's at $28.32. So it's a bit away from, you know, we saw it shoot up to 30, but you have to remember, context earlier this year, silver was really around, we were kind of excited. It popped over 25, started moving. So you have to keep that in mind. We're getting comfortable around 28, goes up to 30. We're excited, but it comes back down. We're still higher than we were months ago. So
absolutely,
it's not doing bad. Platinum and palladium. Now we've talked about it a couple times this year, how beginning of the year, palladium is higher than platinum, and we start to see platinum inching toward it. They're kind of having this race. Now we're starting to see some of the separation happen between the two metals. Platinum right now is 958, and palladium is 891. So before, you know, they were neck and neck. Now platinum's starting to have that gap increase.
Right. Palladium in the 800s feels cheap.
It does, and that's, you know, if it didn't hit some of the prices we saw in previous years, then we wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
But in light of that, we have to understand that, hey, platinum at any point could do what it's done in the past.
Yeah, back in 2008 when it had that huge run up. But one of the things that's interesting is, so as a lot of people know, we record the episode about a week before they come out, right? Mm. And I was listening to some of the last podcast where we were talking about the Trump assassination, and boy, a lot happened right there. And you know, I think I said, or you said, you know, basically a vote for Joe Biden is, you kind of feel like you're voting for Kamala Harris. Now we're looking at, you know, Kamala Harris being the nominee, and Joe Biden's dropped out of the race, and so much happened in 7 days.
Exactly.
It's a lot, actually.
It's interesting how, you know, so quickly, and this has been a hot topic for a lot of people that have discussions on podcasts or the news, you know, some current events. Right now, everybody's pointing at the fact that out of nowhere, it almost seems, this is their candidate. This is, you know, Kamala Harris very well could be the next president. That's a...
You know what's interesting about that? You would think that Kamala Harris would be positive for gold, but I sent you that article from Kitco talking about how if Trump gets reelected, how, you know, his policies are more positive for gold as far as inflation and so on and so forth. So I don't think anybody really knows. I think everybody's just like us, just a bunch of talking heads and just, you know, trying to wing it and come up with opinions, but only the future will tell. Yeah. But I do know, for me, put politics aside and go down to, just what we're, our deficit, the interest payments alone, how much money we've printed, I just don't see gold or precious metals going backwards that much because, man, we've printed a lot of money over the course of the last couple of years. And I say a couple of years, I'm not blaming it on Biden. COVID happened. Like there was a lot of money printed, and somebody's going to have to answer to that. And if you can only kick the can so far down the street, and at some point it feels like we're going to have to deal with that.
Well, we're for sure going to have to deal with it if we don't address, national debt is a problem,
right?
But debt does not matter if the U.S. dollar is doing amazingly. If we increase the strength of the U.S. dollar, then it's no big deal. Pile on the debt. That's how we've been doing it.
Right.
The dollar's been relatively strong when you compare it to some of these other currencies out there. So we really don't know what's going to happen as far as that goes. But you're right. If the dollar stays at the same rate and debt increases, eventually something has to happen.
Right.
But if it increases for whatever reason, if we have strong policies that come out that work out well, hasn't been the case for a while, but who knows what's going to happen next 4 years.
Gotcha. So Jordan sent me and you an email about a horror story. So one of the viewers sent in a email titled "Horror Story," and
it's a perfect title for this.
Yeah, it's a perfect title for this. But I do have some opinions on it, so we're going to share it here. It's a rather lengthy email, but basically, he starts out by saying, "I recently started selling online, and I also recently started my YouTube channel. However, I do have a horror story to share with you guys. Feel free to answer this in your next episode. The question I have for you is operating on such a small level. Example, what are the safest ways for someone operating on such a small level to sell? What platforms and sites? What is the most cost-efficient and safest way for someone operating on a small level to send out packages in the mail?" I have a bunch of stuff to go with this.
Yeah, this is...
basically what had happened, he had put something on OfferUp, some gold coins, it looks like, and package was intercepted during transit, or maybe the buyer is trying to pull one over on him, and they got swapped with some counterfeit coins, and he's basically out $900, which is a lot of money, especially for a small-time person. So, to answer the first question, this is something, I hate to sound this way, but it's the cost of doing business in this industry. What are the safest ways for someone operating on such a small level to sell? Platforms and sites. Do you have any thoughts on that?
So, me and my wife discussed this because when you sent me that, I was driving, so I had her read me the story, and a terrible thing that happened. And I have to agree with you, it is the cost of doing business. But one of the first things that comes up is, if y'all don't know, OfferUp is just an app out there. It allows people to list an item, someone can purchase it. And I think if you are doing a local transaction, that is your safest option. Something where, right. I mean, aside from you're taking gold to somebody, it's a stranger. I don't know where you're at in your cities, but we have places around here that allow, whether it's at a police station, it's an area where we have cameras set up where you can go and trade an item. You have the comfort of knowing you're in a police station, you're right in front of one. And it's a public service that they do where you can go, hey, if you're selling something and you're a little nervous about it, you can go and do that. I love those, because if you're not comfortable, if this is someone that may not have good ratings on whatever platform you're on, but after doing some research, to my knowledge, every single platform that you're going to be shipping to someone's address, selling an item, every platform is going to offer some sort of form of buyer protection, is the way they put it. So in this instance, what it sounds like is the person very well could have received the coins, exchanged them with false ones, and then said, hey, I got fake ones in the mail, and there's no way to vet that, verify, or...
So that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah. I think the guy tried to pull a fast one. The first thing I would say is do not ever attempt to sell an OfferUp. OfferUp has a lot of, don't buy from OfferUp, don't sell on OfferUp. OfferUp is there's a lot of fake stuff. Somebody in there sent me a watch a while back, and the picture was a real watch, but the price was nowhere close. Don't get on OfferUp. Don't get on Craigslist.
Facebook Marketplace, all the
Facebook Marketplace can be a little better to meet locally, but
that's
again,
always face to face.
Yeah, but man, those are full of people looking to take advantage of people. And you said it right, man. The website that you're selling on, the platform that you're selling on is almost 100% of the time going to side with the buyer, because the buyer makes the market. And so they have to protect the buyer. So interesting story with us. We had purchased something off of eBay. We got it delivered here. Actually wasn't here when it delivered, and Erica opened the package, and the package was completely empty. The box didn't look like it was tampered with. We're a well-known seller on eBay. The person we bought from was a high-rated seller on eBay. So
something's off. Yeah.
Something's off. The package is completely empty. Well, it happens. Sometimes people, like, especially larger companies, you forget to put something in the packet. Like, it could happen. It could happen. So I basically contacted the person, was like, that coin was not in the package. And they're like, well, we have a picture of it before we put it in the package with the invoice. And I'm like, I hear you. I have it on camera, so they're probably looking at us like, hey, you're not going to pull a fast one on us. So they were like, and I was like, well, if it's tampered with, that's on you. It's on the shipper. And this was like not a huge coin. It was, $2,000 or $3,000. But again, a lot of money. And so we opened, it had to go through eBay, and we opened up and we sent video to eBay. Like, here's, somebody in our shipping department opening up the package under camera. You can clearly see she opens it up. She pulls out the invoice, starts looking at the box like, where's the coin? Yeah. The box was not tampered. I don't know. And long story short, eBay sides with us and they forced the refund. And we're probably blocked from them because they probably think but it is what it is. If something's tampered with, it's always on the shipper. That's why, like, when people gripe about, the cost of just, 10,000 gold eagles and stuff, it's like, there's so much that people don't realize happens. Insurance costs, our insurance prices for what we ship every year. So we have a blanket insurance policy through Lloyd's of London, and every package, if we ship it, USPS is covered up to X amount. Every package, FedEx, 2-day express, or whatever they call that, Express Saver, is covered up to X amount, and then overnight is covered up to X amount. And anything over the big amount, you have to buy what's called a rider, and they basically give you a price and your deductible goes on. Our insurance prices since 2019 has gone up 5x. And that's just a blanket policy that covers us for the year. And we have packages that get tampered with, especially through USPS. Not to hate on USPS, but it only happens with USPS. Yeah. We had a package recently. It was about $1,000 package. It was 30 silver rounds. Yeah, that's what it was. And, the customer, longtime customer, totally believer, but she also sent Ring video doorbell footage of her accepting the package. And then she was like, the package feels empty. And so she videos herself opening the package, and obviously nothing's in it. And she knew we didn't send her nothing. So, yeah, we were out. We had to replace the round. So, what we made $1 a silver round. So we made, $30, ended up, netting us and probably $870 loss. This stuff happens. Scammers are out there. It's it's like the inevitable. There's some tricks of the trade that I won't give away here, but maybe I'll email the Italian Stallion. What you can do on your USPS packages to make them a little more safe. But as an individual, I think you're already doing those steps.
Yeah.
Do they have X-ray machines to know what's in the package? Because if Ben Parker sends Walt Durham a package, how they know that there's gold and silver in there?
Well, so the only thing that I know I'm aware of is that there are machines out there that can tell the person, everybody knows what a metal detector is.
Yeah.
It can tell you if there's metal in there. There's some of the higher end ones.
That'll tell you what's actually like gold, AUs in there.
It'll give you a real good
AGs
idea.
in there.
So, and that in terms of expenses, now because of technology, some of these metal detectors are around, they're on the cheaper end of $400 or $500. So they can have this, they can just put it over the box. In a lot of cases, it'll give them the way they work is a number system, and each of those numbers is associated with, hey, this is pinging gold, this is pinging silver, or a whole lot of silver. So the more you do it, you can actually get those numbers and have a real good idea of what's exactly in that box.
So, I mean, and listen, we ship and receive a lot of packages. So for us, the amount that it happens is less, obviously. Percentage wise, it's not a huge deal, but it is a cost of doing business. One of the things I would say, touching on platforms, eBay's probably the safest as a seller. But here's what I would tell you to do. This is in regards to this. If you're a smaller seller, block. I don't know if you're allowed to do this.
You can't filter it so much, but
can't you block people who have feedback less than 10?
I think there's a way that you can do it.
I would maybe suggest that, because most of the scammers have 1 to 2 feedbacks because they keep losing accounts and
make another one.
Yeah, they make another one. That's coin shows, is probably another place to sell stuff. But you're taking a risk trying to get into. It's not a cheap endeavor. There's learning lessons with this stuff.
I would say this: if you have the question of what platform should I use, if you're starting small, actually start small, stay local, start building up some of that there, and then once you have enough overhead that you can comfortably lose $900, then maybe start branching off. Stick to high, and if you're going to use a platform, I have to recommend eBay, but any platform. What the trade-off is, hey, I'm reaching more people, I have an opportunity to sell this, versus, and then the trade-off is you have more risk. Risk is going to be involved in any platform, no matter what. I mean, you're shipping an item across the U.S., so things can happen.
And there are bad people out there.
Yeah.
And, I would even say, even if you opened up your own website, right? Mm-hmm. Credit card fraud is, oh man, it is rampant. We get, people all the time. Now, we've done it for so long, going into my 17th year, that, we have systems in place where now it doesn't allow the credit card to go through. But there was a time, and it still happens to this day, there's a time when people would get their information put on somebody else's credit card, use the credit card go through. Companies like us would ship it out. They would get it removed. The people would be like, what is this? They'd do a chargeback, and you automatically lose because that information is no longer on there. There's some key signs to that. Anybody who wants something shipped immediately is a red flag, because I've said this before, coins and stuff, people they're excited about their purchase. I get it. But if they're like, hey, can you overnight it? That kind of
10
stuff.
10 minutes after the purchase, if they're like, hey, can this go out today overnight?
There's some red flags that should be raised on your end. But overnight shipping is by far the safest, whether you choose USPS Express or Federal Express. But your trade-off is the expense. I mean, it's $60 to FedEx overnight something.
Yeah.
Again, these are kind of the costs of doing business. So when people ask, why are prices, why are the spreads widening between what, bid and ask, what a dealer will pay for something versus what, and it's stuff like this. And this is the inevitable. I mean, this is real money being shipped in packages, and people are going to try to figure out how to rip you off. Mm-hmm. So that would be my suggestions for the guy. If you can afford to ship gold, FedEx, Express Saver. It's going to cost you between $30 and $40. Know that going in. There's no easy answer for this. That's why it's so hard to start out. I mean, starting out small is hard, but definitely the big tips: stay off of OfferUp
for sure,
and stay off of Facebook, stay off of Craigslist.
Any of those apps that offer that are relatively new, they came out in the past 5 or 6 years. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of scammers out there. I hate to say it, but there just is.
Well, and I saw an article come out here recently where it's been getting more of a problem now where, people are getting contacted out of the blue and they're saying, hey, cold call, somebody calls these people and they say, hey, I want to buy your coins. You have these coins. The FBI just came out with an article.
I saw that one.
Something like $9 million so far this year that has, people cold call, hey, I want to buy your coins, and they never get the money for them.
Yeah. They just show up at their house and they're like, we'll sell them. Look, if somebody's going to take your coins, you need payment.
Yeah.
Period. And you got to, if you're just liquidating, deal with a reputable person. Just, people get greedy and they're like, well, this person's offering me 20,000, but this person over here is offering me 24, 25, but the 25 guy is a scammer.
Yeah.
And you'll never see the money. Mm-hmm. I've heard horror stories of people get, oh, well, we couldn't sell your coins. Okay, well, just ship them back to me. And they ship them a box of batteries. And yeah, they're unfortunately on both sides with customers and with dealers or so-called dealers. There's bad apples that make,
that spoil the bunch.
That spoil everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the suggestion, and I hate to hear that because it's probably deflating. Like he put on there that it's at least 4 to 5 months it's setting back financially, and it is a shame. And hope things get better. But yeah, you got to take some precautions, and it's okay to lose. Just don't lose the lesson in losing. Mm-hmm. So maybe learn something from it. Learn to safeguard yourself, get off of OfferUp, and you'll be okay. So, what you got?
All right. So, has anyone ever heard of the word, or the phrase, I guess I should say, semi-quincentennial?
Semi-quincentennial. I've heard of the word, yes.
Okay,
I know the word.
Yeah. So, semi-quincentennial, July 4th, 2026, marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Mm-hmm. So the U.S. Mint is doing something exciting. That's the best way to put it. They've broken it down, if I understand, into 3 segments. They're doing this, the Best of Mint series. And it's going to be 1 year only. There's some certain candidates for coins that they're talking about bringing in. But there's going to be 3 major periods of time that they're going to be looking at to release some coins in 2026. And they're doing some fun stuff with our normal change.
Our circulating
coins. So the 3 periods of time that they're looking at right now are the early history. This is going to be from 1792 to 1849. Mm-hmm. They're going to do 19th to early 20th century. They're going to do 1856 to 1921. And they're going to have some really fun ones from more modern time, from 1964 to 2017. Yeah. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of like the 2016 centennial. Mm-hmm. I feel like the problem is going to be, I'm looking here, and Jordan can put it up there at the the candidates for the best of the mint gold coins up there. Obviously, there's a St. Gaudens, which, yeah, I'm a fan of the St. Gaudens, but like we've already done that, right? We've recreated the St. Gaudens in '09. We did the ultra high relief.
Yeah, so
and the vintage ones are there to be bought. I don't know how I don't know. I wish they would have kind of chosen something else.
Well, and to my understanding, there's a group of candidates, so they're still figuring out exactly what they're going to do. We've had some earlier this year that they started announcing some designs, and
so they had 29,000 different people answer the survey on what, because that's what they came out with. Like, what would you like to see recreated in gold?
right.
And, the Mercury dime's on there, which, again, we did that in 2016. I love the Mercury. I love it in gold. It's a great coin. It's a cool coin.
I'll agree with you, though. We saw it in 2016. Is it really necessary to bring it back again?
And the same thing with the Standing Liberty. I mean, which is one of my favorite, I've said this before, is one of my favorite designs of all time. The silver one, I think it's the most artistic coin that the U.S. Mint's ever put out. And I know that's opinion-based, and everybody's got their own opinions, but I love that coin. Love it in gold. Like, it just looks really good. And, again, Walking Liberty half dollar is another candidate on here. We did that in 2016.
Yeah.
So, but again, a lot of people, 29,000 people participated in the survey, and I guess this is kind of the consensus. So maybe I'm on the sidelines here. Maybe I'm the oddball out.
I have to agree with you. We're more apt to choose something that we haven't seen before. And I want to say the birch scent is in one of those groups as a candidate that they might restrike. Now, if I understand this right, some of the gold, they will be struck with a denomination and be considered a coin.
Yeah.
And then the silver, I think some might be coins, but some are more going to be metals that they're going to be doing.
Right. And they're going to have some issue, because it states here that, they must be now these are going to come out in 2026, obviously. They got to be composed out of 24 karat gold. There's going to be some, you can't really strike a dime size in 24 karat gold and get it on 10th ounce, make it a 10th ounce.
Right.
So they're going to have to do some, just like they did in 2016. I mean, to see a 2026 St. Gaudens, though, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I just, just me being me, I would like to see something different. I mean, there's a lot, like the 1795, gold coins. Those early gold coins would look really cool coming back to life. But the most artistic coins of our time came in that time period. And I think it's going to be exciting for collectors.
Is there anything that isn't a part of that group that you'd want to see, or?
Like I said, like the early Eagles would be cool. I would really like to see a Stella, a $4 Stella, just because it's such a rare coin, right?
Yeah,
it's just a weird denomination, but it was a point in our time in history that we had a $4 coin, even a $3 princess. I mean, we see a lot of $3 princesses, so it doesn't like make me ooh, but not many people get to own a $4 Stella,
right?
Or like the Trimes,
the
3 cent. That would be cool in gold. But they didn't ask for my specific opinion, so I'm
and it's been a trend here recently, though, that we've seen since 2021. We've seen the resurgence of Morgan and Peace dollars do a trade dollar.
Oh, I love that they went with the vintage design on the Morgan and Peace dollars. I love that how the Peace dollars have turned out. And I'm not a big fan of the vintage Peace dollars, but the new Peace dollars are, like, to me, are better looking than the Morgans. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I'm just telling you, like, I see when I go back in the vault and I see the Peace dollars, the new ones, I'm like, oh man, those are sharp.
Right.
The vintage Peace dollars don't excite me, and I know some people out there collect Peace dollars. Good for you. Like, that's part of the hobby, right?
Yeah.
Collect what is special to you. But, I like that they went back and brought back some vintage designs, kind of tying the history and everything with it. But I don't know. I think we could have done better. Yes, man. I am excited about the 1804 silver dollar, though.
We're not there yet, so we don't know. They could change.
Well, they
it up a
better
little
do
bit.
that one because that's the only one that they haven't recreated. Of the candidates that they've listed, the only one that they haven't recreated is the 1804.
You know what I'm really excited for though is as part of this for 2026, they're also going to be doing a new Lincoln set and the Jefferson nickel.
And well, they're gonna do them all.
They're gonna do everything
They're
with.
gonna do the dime.
Have you seen the pictures of the different? They have different designs that they want to do for the date, and they're not sure how they want to lay it out yet.
Haven't seen that.
So one, it just has 1776, and then it has line, and then below it is 2026. One of it has a side by side, but there's one that looks really good with the Liberty Bell, and it's almost like a privy mark.
Yeah, I've seen that. And it says 250 on it.
I think so. 250th anniversary. Yeah. If they do that with a Lincoln cent Jefferson nickel quarter, if they do that with a privy mark, you better believe I'm getting me the whole set.
I saw the design for the penny and the nickel, and I was unimpressed. It basically looks like the Westward Journey nickel. It's just got the 2 dates on it.
Yeah.
17, and how we're going to get phone calls. I cannot wait for people to be like, I've got this nickel from 1776.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we get that all the time because we get the calls. We get calls from people all the time who say, I've got this coin is from it's a quarter from 1776. And I'm like,
that might
that's
be
a bicentennial.
But that might be a good argument for them to use just 2026 on the right side of the field. And then on the left side, put, a Liberty Bell 250 privy mark. Because no one's, hopefully nobody, but you look at that and you'd say, okay, 2026, it's a brand new penny, it's a nickel. You see the privy mark, it's a little bit different. They haven't done a privy mark on regular, currency or anything like that. So.
No, that they haven't. And that's kind of cool in my opinion, but I don't know. I think they could have really did more with the penny and the nickel. Never been fans of those two.
You just think it's lackluster. You don't really like it.
I don't, but who am I? I'm just a guy, like who am I to say? But I like change after something's been, how long has the penny been the penny? Mm-hmm. How long has it been Abraham Lincoln? Just
so you want to see something different?
Yeah, and even if it's 1 year only, but I don't know. It would be cool. I don't think if they do the St. Gaudens in gold, I don't know if they'll do another ultra high relief, which is a beautiful coin.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what they're doing. They might be doing one that's not an ultra high relief.
Maybe. And I think modern modern gold eagle collectors are going to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. It's got the continuity of, what's on the gold eagles.
Right.
But I hope they keep with the Roman numerals though.
That would be nice. I doubt it, but
they didn't ask for our opinions.
Yeah, they never do.
At all. They never do.
Yeah.
Mint. You can call me at 866. Also, 2025 U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary commemorative coins are coming out. I'm not normally big on commemorative coins, and I don't think really anybody is. There's a few commemorative coins that I think are just beautiful, that don't really carry a premium. I love the 1987 $5 gold coin. I think that's a really cool design. But this one really struck my eye. So they're going to be coming out with the U.S. Marine Corps 250th anniversary. They've just released the designs, and I'm pretty impressed.
Okay, so we're going to have to put this up. Jordan, you have to put that up for us. But out of the three, so there's three designs here.
Mm-hmm. Let me get my close-ups. Yeah, go ahead.
Which of the three are you most impressed with?
Man. I really like the silver dollar one, which is the Iwo Jima. Is that the Iwo Jima one? Yeah. That's a beautiful, like that right there is going to be, and we deal a lot with military. We have a lot of military customers. And I think the hobby in general has a lot, even because if anybody's going to appreciate American history, it's our veterans. And so this is really cool. The Navy medal they did was really good. Really good design. I bought that for my wife. My wife was in the Navy for 8 years. But I do like the reverse of each of these coins, the U.S. Marine Corps. I think it's really well done. I do like the 50 cent piece, though.
Okay, the $50 is the winner.
Yeah, I really think the $50 is cool.
Okay, so the $50, I mean, granted, the $5 and the dollar, they're beautiful. This is iconic. It's I don't want to say typical, but for a coin, it's kind of expected that they're going to use that. But the $50, I mean, you look and you see the beginning or, then and now. It's perfect. Both of them in there. A Marine from that same year, 1775, and a Marine in 2025, what they would look like. There's so much artistic points to it where the previous Marine is in the back and the new Marine's in the front. It's both of them at arms, ready to fight. And that should have been the gold one. That's a beautiful design.
I'm curious to see how well they're going to sell. Because commemoratives really don't sell well. And for whatever, the market speaks for itself. They just don't sell well.
I don't know. I'm for sure getting a $50.
Yeah, I like these. I'm more excited about these than I have been for others in the past. Yeah, they've got great designs. I just really don't know how they're going to sell. So that could be low mintages or whatever. And do non-military or non-Marine Corps people?
That's typically one of the issues that the Mint has with selling some of these is you have to have an almost immediate tie to what they're commemorating. So I can guarantee that if you're a coin collector and you were part of the Marines or are a part of the Marines, you're going to be probably getting some.
Right.
The question is whether or not other people that aren't do that also.
Yeah. And I guess for us, especially me, I see so many coins a day that it's nice to see something different. So I do look forward to the commemorative designs just because they're different and they've been well designed lately. I think the Jackie Robinson $5 from 97. Oh, that's a great looking. The proof coin just looks really good. I believe it's on our Facebook page as the cover photo, just because it's just really cool looking.
Yeah.
And it's a low mintage coin. It didn't sell well, and so now it's the most valuable of the $5 gold commemoratives. So will this happen here? It just depends. We only have the black and white photos as of now.
Right.
So we'll see next year if, how well they sell. But I'm not excited for how they're going to sell, but we will handle them because, again, we do have a lot of veterans and they'll be wanting these. And they grade well. A good majority of them, they're really carefully struck. A good majority of them grade 70. So the premiums for a 70 is not going to be bad.
And I like stuff like this because, for friends and family that did serve in the Marines, it's a perfect, hey,
Yeah.
it's a coin that they just made, want you to have it. It's a good gift.
And you could display, like you said, the 50 cent piece does look cool. You could display it. It's not a high value coin. You could display like OGP at your house, on the mantle. And,
but a good buddy of mine, he has, they have different challenge coins and stuff that they get through their years, and he's got his kind of display shelf, and that would be right there on top. So,
yeah, it'd be cool. The only other thing coming out or just came out is the UltraBreaks Heat Waves. Kind of curious to see how they're going to do in the market. Price point's a little high for 1 ounce silver, but there's a lot of chase coins in them. If you're not familiar with the UltraBreaks, it's basically a blind pack, and you can get either it's the burnished from this year, but you could get an 06, you can get a gold coin. Those have done really well. I pulled a gold label lunar, and I paid 100 and whatever the issue price was. I forget, 150, something like
Yeah.
that for a half ounce coin. And they're already selling on eBay for $500 or $600. So people like them. Vault Box sells out. UltraBreak sells out within like 8 minutes every release. I'll be curious to see how it does with the $229 price point.
I like them too, because if you're going to be picking up like a standard collector,
Yeah.
for me, you know, I'm picking up one of each variation of Silver Eagle at least that year in the 70s. So now I've got my full UltraBreak set finished for the year. I've got one of each.
There you go.
See, and then even this one, the interesting is this most recent one, the Heat Wave, you have a chance to get a flag core holder on those. So
Didn't you pull a flag core holder?
got a flag core holder.
That's cool. Yeah. Supposedly, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but we've got some UltraBreaks merchandise coming, some apparel coming to us, and we'll give it away here on the Coin Guys from Texas. So we'll come up with some kind of game where we can give them away hats and T-shirts or something.
Yeah.
Said he'd send me a goodie box. So
awesome.
So we'll have some goodies to give away. But UltraBreaks have been pretty cool. If you haven't, there's also a new mystery pack coming out.
Another one.
Yeah. We can talk a little bit about that off camera. I don't want to
speak too soon
or rain on it. No, it's coming out. I just don't want to rain on anybody's parade.
Oh, is it not good?
Is
it not good?
No, it's good, but
we'll talk.
There's some discussions we need to have.
All right.
But that's all I've got for today.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in. So make sure you follow us on YouTube.
Week.